3 is the future.
Welcome, crew, to What Are Your Three, a Channel 3 podcast where we take a member of the Channel 3 community, discuss 3 games of their choosing, go through some honorable mentions and some other odds and ends for a nice little video game discussion. I'm Dan. With me, as always, Ray.
What's going on, everybody? Tonight's guest is one that we tried to have on previously, and things did not go as planned, but we got him on tonight. It is, in fact, the Season 5 champion, but more importantly, the father of a future baseball star and future dancing prodigy. It is jklein himself. Jay, how are you doing tonight? Good?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing? Yeah, I'm awake and my leg's not broken.
There you go.
What was the other time that we
That's right.
tried to do this?
There was so many things wrong last time. You were a leg short and a few hours early there.
Yeah, I don't think the leg actually had anything to do. It was the second one where I was like, if we were thinking, we would have done it when I didn't leave the house for 2 weeks.
But we made it. We made it here. You're on tonight. We have to talk about games. Dan,
That's
started for us.
And that's where I step in, where we're going to talk about your first game on the list, which is Fallout 4.
Yes.
Many of my notes are from, I think it was episode 49 or 50 you were originally, 49 I think originally slated for. So 31 later, we finally nail you down. I bring this up only to say that since then, we've had the Fallout show drop, which has re-injected life into the franchise. This selection was before this reinvigoration of Fallout 76 and Fallout and all things Fallout. So first of all, I have to warn you that I've just got a notification, probably going to disrupt us here, that another settlement needs your help. So I don't know if we're going to be able to continue on here or not.
Put it on the mini.
Best thing to do is do the Nuka World DLC and start taking over settlements with the raiders. Then he hates you and doesn't ask you to do anything.
See, I could never let myself do that though. That was that's one way to do it. I think by Nuka World I was done though. Like I think by that point there was just too much else happening in life and it pulled me away. I think I did. Was that the last DLC? I'm trying to remember. I feel like that was one of the.
Oh, was it? I think there was Far Harbor, I believe, first one, and then the other 3 that were kind of useless by the time they came out, but I could see them being very helpful if you just started.
Yeah, like
the contraptions and the robots.
Vault, right? Yeah,
yeah.
But that's not.
And then I think it was Nuka World.
Yeah, I think it was the end. So you were mentioning right before this, because I had asked something about the PlayStation 3 while we were just chatting and kind of warming up. Was this your first Fallout experience? Where does this fall in your Fallout timeline?
This is the very first one. I posted that I got the PlayStation 4 today from a friend, and that was the first game I played, I believe, to completion since getting back into gaming.
That was coming out of your dark ages. We constantly discussed you have the dark ages. That's when the kids are, nope, not gonna get time for it. You're out.
Oh, and my dark ages are my 20s.
Just an entire decade gone.
Yeah, it's like I'd actually have to Google it, but I didn't. I never owned a PS3. But I'm not sure when it came out. Like if it was out when I stopped, or if I stopped before it came out.
It would have been or 4 with Fallout 4.
Well, the PlayStation 3s, because I missed that entire.
Oh yeah, that was dead in the middle of your dark ages based on this timeline.
That was the first one that it was like, I love this, and it was a game that was completely out of my comfort zone because I was very much a NHL. MLB. I wasn't playing Final Fantasy or anything like Yakuza games so it was something that was like, oh, I missed out on a lot by being so dead focused on playing sports games.
So how did you end up having this be the game that brought you back and not going and diving into Madden 14 or 15 or whatever whatever it was that year. Why did Fallout 4 end up? Was that just what they sent over, or how did this end up being?
The friend that I got the PlayStation from is like, I really think you would like this. Just from us talking about video games and stuff, because I was kind of starting to get back into it. I just didn't have a PlayStation. I was stupid and got an Xbox, and then it was like, oh wait, all my friends in real life have PlayStations. So he was like, my wife's getting me the Batman one. I'll sell you mine for $100. I was like, deal.
I'm trying to figure out, because I don't know if anybody had an Xbox after the 360 besides a few people that bought the one. I don't think anybody has.
Definitely nobody on Channel 3.
Out of several thousand users, there's no Xbox Series X or S owners apparently. So
those posts you make me laugh every time.
Nobody bites.
My 360 is still hooked up. I mean, we play Connect Sports on that thing all the time.
The other
consoles I like my 360.
It's a great system.
But
that's why.
Had I not, I probably feel differently had I not found a relatively cheap copy of NCAA basketball.
Whoa! Hold on. Yeah, we're not to that yet. Hold on. I'm not done yet. Because I have to ask, because you're a Sox fan, right? Like, how did the general Boston approach here in this? Have you spent much time up that way? Was it getting kind of the first big location you get to, besides like you beat Preston Garvey in a random place and start the whole settlement thing, but like one of the first big locations you get to is getting to Fenway and the Green Monster.
To Fenway. Yeah, and that I think I got there. They give you that quest relatively early in that game.
It's one of the first things you have to do.
I opened the map and went, that's far away. I should probably level up a bit. Because in my head, it's like the further you get away from the start point, probably harder. I was so over leveled that I had to like go out of my way to go to do harder things. I was like, I was pretty far in before I actually made it to Diamond City.
So you did better than I did, because my run, I barely made. I made it by the skin of my teeth in there, because I had played Fallout before. So I'm like, I'm gonna just try and get to whatever I did in Fallout 3. I did the same thing that you did in Fallout 3. I just like wandered the countryside. So I'm like, I need to get there, and I barely made it, because you've got like those super mutants that are outside of Diamond City.
Yeah,
I was at the point where I'm like, I can't fight them. I need to just sneak around them and get in here and just not die.
Yeah, there were points in that game where I have so many hours in that game just from wandering. But it's like, okay, I've got 45 minutes. All I'm going to do is unlock locations. So I'd run up, okay, location popped, and run away.
Just
and
save. Get that XP, get the fast travel. That's all you got to do.
Yep. I'm out. No, it was first game where it was like, this is what I've been missing out on. So I'm probably one of the few people where they're remastering all these games and people are like, why are they doing this? I'm like, awesome. I get to play this.
I'm right there with you. There's so many remasters. I didn't even know they were remasters, even on the Switch. They're like, yeah, they did this before, like on the Wii U or even on the Wii.
I played the DS, the Wii, like the Donkey Kong Country Returns. Like I didn't play that. Let's go.
I never played it. That's brand new to me. The Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe. It's like never played it. Like, brand new to me. I love it. Keep doing it, please.
And charge me full price, says Ray.
I didn't pay for it the first time. Luigi's Mansion 2.
I didn't pay for it the first time.
Guys,
now there's some where it's like, we're going to remaster this. It's like, that better not be full price.
They sneak some in. So with this, how did you align yourself? So this is a story where you've got several options. There's no clear winner in here. You've got the Railroad, but they're doing stupid stuff. You've got the Brotherhood doing stupid stuff, and you have the Institute doing stupid stuff. Where did you align yourself?
I think my initial playthrough, like the very first, I'm going to do this, I believe it was with the Railroad.
The closest to probably a decent group you could get to.
Yeah, because I've been playing the PS5 version and actually not mashing through text. It's like, I don't want to align with any of you.
You all suck.
Yeah. When you really listen to the railroad, kind of like, okay, you're closer to what I think, but you're still kind of nuts.
You're like, oh, that's nice. Okay, they're trying to help the synthetic lives. It makes sense, but you're all idiots. Okay, I see how it is. So what did you do your first playthrough? So you find out, and we'll spoil a 10-year-old game. The 10-year-old, I think, is inside of our statute of limitations. They're outside of it to go through this. So the game starts off, you're cryogenically frozen. You wake up to see your counterpart and child murdered and or snatched away, depending on which one you're looking at there. And you come to find out the Institute is being run by your psychotic child who has grown up without you and teleported to the basement of MIT and is running a little paradise down there, but also being a psychopath. And so how'd you play that out then?
The second he stopped talking to me, I shot him.
That's the spirit. Just get it over with, and you got to get out alive. That's all. It's just a matter of escaping the Institute, which you were probably overpowered and just stomped on everybody, it sounds like.
Yeah, by that point. I'm doing a much better with the PS5 version, knowing, okay, like I was Diamond City immediately. Of course, do not, if you do the PS5 version, don't install the robot DLC because they have all those automatrons all over the place, and they're extremely powerful if you are low level.
Duly noted. Don't get ahead on the DLCs. So anything really stick out for this game from you? Just like you got to live in it. Were there any settlements you were proud of? Any weaponry that sticks out? Any of the little side nonsense taking place, which this game's 95% side nonsense?
God, trying to spend so long. But nothing really sticks out. It's just more of the game that's like really got me back into gaming. Like I never would have played a Yakuza game, just I don't think a lot of the games I play now I would have if I'd not purchased Fallout 4.
I want to ask before we leave the Fallout universe. I think I saw is Fallout 76 the game that you have the most hours logged in?
Yes.
So did you just immediately go and say that they did an MMORPG? Let me in.
I got it on launch, didn't like it, put it away, and then they updated and I got back in, and I really enjoy it because you can squat up with randos and never talk to them, but you get perks from being in a group. I can see it being a lot of fun with friends.
I don't know if I'm afraid to open that wound or again I stand by the walk hard. I don't want none of this.
There's moments where that definitely Fallout 76 definitely tells you should be doing this with people because some of the quests are almost impossible without other people.
All right, so now we move on to a younger jklein. Before he learns of all these solo adventures, NCAA March Madness 2003. Any coincidence here that we're going with the year? We got Jayhawk star Drew Gooden on the cover.
Drew Gooden on it? No, there's no really coincidence. It's just the one that out when me and my friends decided we're going to do a league. Everyone picked a team. You could create 2 characters to add to the team, and then we would just all hang out at each other's houses and 365 days just playing basketball.
What team did you choose?
Jayhawks.
I just had to make sure. All right.
There was arguments about it because being in Kansas.
Other people want that team too. How did you end up getting the team?
My name was drawn out of the hat.
And did you build 2 characters to put on your team?
I built myself and I built some other person, but I pretty much just used Kirk Heinrich.
Well, what kind of player was jklein on the Jayhawks?
Well, his legs didn't break. It was a 3. I pretty much made him to me where it was like no inside game, just going to stay outside and shoot threes.
So do you like kind of this style of game? Because there hasn't been a one since 2010. Do you prefer this more kind of arcade style of game as opposed to we're going to try to make it look you're not sure if you're watching a real game or if you're playing a video game?
Yeah, I honestly think that's why I don't get into sports games now. It's like I just want to pitch the ball. I shouldn't have to hit 17 buttons to throw a fastball. X.
It's not 17 buttons to throw a fastball. You have to move the right stick in a certain series of motions. If it was just a 17 buttons, you could work with that. It's these motions I can't do.
My son gets it. I play it, and I want to apologize to my father for me making fun of him about not understanding Nintendo. It's like, as you get older, you start calling, hey, I'm really sorry about that. I get it now.
I had my first one of that with my first son because he talks enough for the entire family, and I remember calling him and saying, you know, man, this kid, he doesn't stop, and my dad just started laughing. He's like, you don't say. You know,
yeah.
How many questions did he ask you tonight? Say, oh, really? That was a moment.
Son, when you were 5 years old, your mother placed that curse upon you and said, I hope you have a child just like you someday. And mission accomplished.
That's exactly
yeah.
what happens.
Yes.
So we have NCAA football just made their big comeback. Do you want the March Madness comeback too? It's going to end up being realistic if they do it, right? Would you play it?
I absolutely would. Something about college basketball that I love. I need it. It's like I'm looking forward to NCAA football, but I'm afraid that if I get it, and apologies to Nanner who can't play it, I'm afraid that it's like 20 minutes in. Oh, okay.
It's gonna ruin everything that you remembered. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the football because the Jayhawks might actually have a good rating.
So with this tournament, it was everyday tournament. Did you end up winning against your friends? How does this work?
We essentially just created a conference on paper and would play each other, and then like every Thursday was non-conference games where you'd play the computer, but for the most part you would just play amongst each other, and we'd keep standings, and then we'd run a tournament at the end.
How many times did you do this? Because obviously they had other games. Was it always 03? Would you guys update to the new games?
No, it was just always 03. We were poor.
All
it was
right,
more.
Go ahead.
It was more of a get together, have some beers, play some video games, and it just kind of grew from there.
I wouldn't know about that. I wasn't having beers in fifth grade.
You know what? You're just
why do you have to do that?
You were just waiting to figure out where you were going to do that.
How can I make these two chuckles feel old?
I thought about it 10 different times already.
Yeah.
I was gonna talk about it when you said Dark Ages in 2006. I was like, the Dark Ages of video games in 8th grade? That's crazy.
Hey, out of curiosity, how far away are you from Fort Jackson?
From Fort Jackson?
Yeah. I don't think it's Fort Jackson anymore.
I'd have to look and see. You know why I should know this? It's because that's actually where my dad did his basic training. I learned that afterwards. Let's see it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, this is the power of the internet. I am
born there and then moved back when they were filming Renaissance Man.
I'm an hour and a half from it. I'm an hour and a half south the east.
What obscure movie to reference? Thanks, Danny DeVito.
Hey, Mark Wahlberg was still Marky Mark.
Marky Mark.
That was early Marky Mark on screen.
What a time. All right, let's keep the sports talks talking here. Game 3. Hot Shots Golf 3. Not 1, not 2, not 4, F-O-R-E, also known as Everybody's Golf, but Hot Shots Golf 3. Why 3?
I think it was the one that came out where you could I could actually drive, and we'd go out to my friend's house in the country in high school, give his mom our keys, money. She'd go get beer, and we'd sit and BS, drink beer, and play hot shots.
So this is a play with friends game.
Yeah. Loved 1 and 2, but that was much younger me, where it was just kind of you played by yourself. And if friends were over, you'd 2-stick it. But I had the adapter where you could have 4 controller, so everybody had their own controller. It was partying up the way partying up means to me, where it's like everybody's right there. I miss that. The couch.
I don't think I knew that the PlayStation had the adapter to do 4 controls. Like I had a PS2, but it just like I partied. Me, it was GameCube. Like that's how I partied up. So we just automatically had 4. There's so many things I didn't know. I didn't know that.
I think they also had one that had 8, and each one had its own slot for the 52 megabyte.
Nah, was it that big on the PS2 even? I don't know if it was.
I don't know.
Look it up, Dan. You're the historian.
No, I was just trying to think, because this was the first one for the PlayStation 2. This was a great one because this was freshman year of college. We had played this one too. This was a great, just like get the friends around the TV game.
Yeah. And you hit a certain point with the beverages, and someone can't hit the green and just keeps going into the water over and over and over again. And you just sit there laughing at them forever. Like it's. I wish I still had my PlayStation 2 because I'd still play this game.
8
megabits. I'm up
8 megabytes. Excuse me, 8 megabytes. That's what I thought. It was only 8.
Same as
they were only 8.
That's a GameCube memory card right there. That's a GameCube memory card. 8 megabytes. So much data, so much space.
And so expensive.
It's so expensive. Limitless space. So I have here. I'll say you answered a question saying you missed something, and it was because of Hot Shots Golf 3. What'd you miss?
Oh, what did I miss?
It said something about you were in the middle of a 16-man tournament, so you decided that this tournament needed to be played in.
Oh God, what was it?
I have here didn't go to work.
Oh yeah, okay. That we were talking. Yeah.
Where were you working? That you said, you know what? I got to play Hot Shots Golf 3 right now. This is where it's at.
The Burger King on Fort Leavenworth.
There you go. Do Burger King still exist, Dan? You got any Burger Kings by you still?
Yeah, there were 2 like a half a mile from each other at one point. There's still one.
Really?
Yeah.
I think we have one.
They're rest stop fodder everywhere too. They're all over the place.
I have one about 10 minutes away from me, north and south.
Burger King was the place for me when I was a kid. Like that was Friday. We actually got to go out to eat somewhere. It was Burger King on Anderson. On Anderson. No, Burger Line Avenue was crazy. There was a ball pit in there and a Mortal Kombat arcade game. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Dan. Yep. Burger King. I keep saying Burger Line, but I feel like that part of the street wasn't. I know where it was. Burger King, ball pit, little ball pit, and right next to it, Mortal Kombat arcade. Right there, just sitting there.
Now, was the Burger King Kids Club still a thing, or is this another thing where I get to feel old?
Yeah, he's just going to take shots at us now. Way to go. Thanks a lot.
You say
Kid Vid and...
I don't, you know what? I don't think that
they probably had actual gold crowns back when you guys were young. They only had cardboard by the time I was there.
Trying to take a shot on that one. I honestly don't know if that was a thing. They had the kids meal, and then eventually they got the big kids meal. That was
yeah.
I was around for that.
That was after our time.
We got the Backstreet Boy albums.
I'm so glad Friday I'm recording with
3
Brian
colors,
and not you. I'm just calling it now.
Backstreet Boys red, blue, and yellow albums at Burger King. I got those 3. Don't know how that happened, but that was a thing at one point.
jklein, if you want to drive to where he is and just beat him up, I'm just let me know. We'll make a road trip.
Back to Hot Shots. You got a character? Who's the go-to character here?
It's the Lion, John Daly.
Oh, there you go.
That was the only respectable That was how I learned about John Daly. Was that game?
I
It's funny
learned about John Daly because I had uncles who liked to go to Hooters. So
I hear about John Daly in every context except playing golf. that's actually the amazing part. Am I a bad person if I said that I had never heard of this game. So I didn't play a lot of sports games. And I'll put it like this: I didn't know that a first down was 10 yards in football. This is how little sports I played. All right, I played NFL Blitz. Thought that football had 30-yard first downs. Had no concept of what any of this meant. So am I a bad person if I looked at this and say, "Oh, look, it's Mario Golf, but just not with Mario characters"?
No, you know why you're not a bad person for that? Who
Did we
made
just reskin Mario?
Who made Mario Golf, Ray?
I don't know. What part of I didn't play a sports game.
Right. See, no, this is where you find out that the people that made this were also the people that made Mario Golf.
Ah, okay. So I was not.
I'm
wrong.
99% sure. So like,
It's Mario Golf. It's just reskinned.
yeah.
of
So like
Hot
Mario
Shots.
Golf was like Nintendo saying, "Hey, we need our version of this." Like, it was a goofy game. It wasn't try hard golf. It was goofing off.
Oh, is Hot Shots
Yeah.
by Camelot as well?
Yeah, they had something. I thought they had something to do with it.
oh, God, what?
There's some overlap between them. I thought that was it.
Clap hands or something like that.
Yeah, you're right. It is Clap Hands. That is who made on this one, the first one I put Everybody's Golf 3, aka Hot Shots Golf 3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say if Clap Hands shows up because over here, I don't know if Clap Hands and Camelot somehow go with each other. I was like, these are the same game, except I'm sure they were like, yeah, we can just do the same thing, right? Just big head characters.
I swore
swinging
there
the
was
golf
some
club.
overlap between them, but I could be wrong.
Are you ready for Hot Shots Golf 5? It's coming out on the PS5.
Is it?
No, I'm sorry. I wish. Imagine.
I mean, I'm upset that they shut down the servers for Everybody's Golf.
How long was that on? I never know about these servers shutting down. I never understand it. I'm always impressed that things stay open online as long as they do.
I mean, time has no meaning anymore, but it didn't feel like the game was out all that long, and they shut them down. But I want to say, and I could be wrong, but they gave it away for free on PlayStation Plus, and it wasn't too long after that they shut them down.
Dan looks like he's researching to make sure.
Of course, not too long after. It could be a year.
I wouldn't even know. I was shocked that like AOL still had email addresses working at one point.
Yeah, Hot Shots
Right.
Golf, Camelot Software Planning.
Oh, there you go.
I know. I had to make sure I wasn't nuts. Sorry, that was why I was furiously like typing away here. Like, I swear to God, there was overlap between them. Yes, there was. Camelot made Hot Shots Golf. Okay, sorry. I'm shutting up now.
Can Camelot go and remake another Strikers game instead of what was given to us?
Listen, I'm just waiting for Mario Baseball. That rumor's been floating out there. Let's go.
That's the only one that's left. They've done everything else.
We'll see you next June. That'll be there.
All right, let's go on to the honorable mentions here. So you did fall out because you're like, this is the new game that we did our sports, and now honorable mention we have Medal of Honor Frontline. So how does this one fit?
I love World War II. I might be the only person that really enjoyed Call of Duty World War II. Loved it. But just, you put in the game, it starts, your controller's shaking, you're storming the beaches. And I was like, I'm in.
Ray, I have to warn you now, Ray, there's a thing that when you turn 40, you have to either pick up Smoking Meats or World War II. You can take your pick.
I'm definitely, I'll be on the World War II side of it. There's no doubt about it. So yeah, I mean, it's just controller shaking, storm the beach. You're in it. You're there. I mean, are you playing this? Like, how many times you play through this game?
Oh, I played through it a lot. Did you need to? No. Just it's just a game that was just so much fun to play. And you're doing these missions that are essentially missions kind of that happened. And I think that's why Medal of Honor kind of got into trouble, because they were getting help from military, but they were being too truthful, if I remember correctly.
I mean, this from EA Los Angeles takes over for this one here with the Medal of Honor series. I mean, this game, did amazing. It's like number 8 selling game overall of that era between the 3 consoles. It goes double platinum on the PlayStation. It earns almost $100 million just in the US.
It was PS2, right?
Oh yeah, PS2. Yeah, you're not alone in loving this game. It was
my brain always wants to put it in the PlayStation on the PS1, and I'm always reminded. It's like, wait, that only came out then? Like it's a game that feels like it came out 98, 99, not when it did to me.
Why does it feel that way? Is it somewhat like the way it played?
I think it's just that. No, I think it's just that time frame where everything kind of felt the same, because 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th grade type, where it's like, when did this happen? Was it then, or was it? Because there's a lot of games from around that time frame where I'm like, wait, that was a PlayStation 2 game? Why do I think it's a PlayStation game?
So they had Medal of Honor in 2020, but it was a VR game. They're kind of like they're their own category. Do you want Medal of Honor back? Would you want a different story out of Medal of Honor, or would you be happy like, let's just do World War II again? Let's storm the beaches, but let's have PS5 graphics on it.
Yeah, I would be okay with that. Like, I liked the Call of Duty World War II, but man, the storming the beaches, that sucked. You're just following a guy around.
We have the same guy composing the music. It's funny because you bring up the Call of Duty, because the same guy who composed the music for Medal of Honor, then he goes on to do music for the Call of Duty games as well. Dan's gonna know better about that. I'm not even good at pronouncing his name. Giacchino.
Put some respect on his name.
You're the composer person. I went through. He's done a lot.
We're just going to assume he's saying it right.
I will.
Half the heavy lifting of If that came out a few weeks ago was Giacchino dropping everything. He did the last 3 Spider-Man movies. He started with Lost, The Incredibles. Go pull his IMDb up, right?
I'm looking at the Batman Rogue One.
Oh, that's right. He did the Batman too. I forgot. He did great with that one.
Won the Oscar for Up.
Yeah, just go. Oh yeah, that not 10-minute long section in the beginning. Half of it's getting killed by him. Yeah.
The music puts it all together there. If they Medal of Honor came and then they said, "Hey, we're gonna do multiplayer as well," would you be excited that they put multiplayer in Medal of Honor?
I'd probably not. I just wouldn't play it.
I figured as much. It just doesn't feel.
Unless it was kind of similar to some of the modes in Call of Duty World War II. Like, there was modes where you're just kind of protecting the tank, and it's like, okay, people are coming at us, and I'm not having to search around buildings and I got shot in the back. It's like, okay, I kind of know where you're coming from, and it felt more fun than the free-for-alls and stuff like that, where it's like, all right, this stinks.
You know what? That could work a lot. I feel like a lot of these games now, people like those modes. I mean, I know. I feel like 2000s, even like the second half, like 05 to 2010, it was like, let's just do. Everyone wants to do team deathmatch. Let's do team deathmatch. How many kills gonna get? I feel like everyone now, the multiplayer people want those kind of mission-based games. So that sounds like something that would fit today.
What's the new one that came out?
All the Modern Warfares they keep redoing, or the Black Ops 6?
No, the new shooter.
X-Defiant.
Yes.
Oh.
That's all. It's all mission-based. They just put a team deathmatch mode in, but it's like they have the escort mission, and that's basically all I play when I put it on.
I actually kind of liked it, but it's one of those where it's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, I like it too.
I liked it. I just hated all the people I was playing with.
Feels very classic to me. I enjoy it when I turn it on.
Like, the guns felt good.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, speaking of guns, for some reason, let's go to Final Fantasy 15. So again, we veer away from the sports. We veer away. We jump back forward to the. I realize that in our divvying this up, I think Ray got the pre-Dark Ages. I get the post-Dark Ages. For
Yes.
jklein's gaming, that's not how we did not know how this was going to play out, but now okay, kind of totally tracks. It all makes sense. But anyway, so did you play a Final Fantasy 15 game before? Because now, following the rest of this conversation, I feel like you would shove a Final Fantasy player into a locker before Final Fantasy 15. Is that an accurate take?
I actually text messaged a friend from 7th, 8th grade when Final Fantasy 7 came out.
Yes, that is an accurate timeline, assuming we're like right at the same age. Yes.
Hey, really sorry I called you a nerd for liking Final Fantasy. Why? Final Fantasy 15 is great. It's like,
as what was his response to that then?
I told you that in the 7th grade. It's like, I told you it was fun.
You did your mea culpas. That's the important part. So
I still don't know if I would have liked Final Fantasy 7, just the style of game it was.
Entirely
I
different
think the
game
open world helped.
What dragged you in? So what made you say, okay, same question as Flood. Like, what made you say, okay, I guess I'm going to pick up Final Fantasy now? Was it like dudes with swords driving in cars? Is that what did it?
I think I was watching videos on PlayStation Access, and they were really excited about it. And it was like, I value their opinions on games. I'll try it, and then platinum it.
Oh, so this wasn't even, because I was also going to ask if this was because this was a free PlayStation Plus eventually, I believe. Like, all the Final Fantasies eventually are free on PlayStation Plus, but you dove in
it's actually how
immediately.
It was if you were able to get a PS5 early enough, they had all those games for free.
Yeah, God of War. They had God of War. They had all like
God
the best
War.
PS4 titles were like 15 free.
I think
games.
Uncharted 4 was in there. That's how I got the DLC for Final Fantasy 15, because they gave the Royal Edition away. And of course, I didn't have my save. So it's like, I'm not going to play through those yet.
So you got it. The video hooked you. You said, I'm in, let's go. So what was your experience like going into this game? And you're getting rapidly dropped into an entire world. It's an anthology series, so it's not like you have to be familiar with the other, 47 Final Fantasy properties to be familiar with it. You can at least just drop in. But the opening of that game, they are trying to create a world, a vibe, an appearance for you very quickly. And it's different than seeing it when you're watching like a video on PlayStation Access. Like, what was it like when you're turning it on and cracking the TV and all that?
I just thought it was just a beautiful game. It's just a lot of fun to play. Like I said, I liked it. It was just one of those. It's like you look back and it's like I try to tell my son now. It's like, hey, there's other games out there. Get outside of your comfort zone.
Check it out.
You're missing out on.
Yeah, if you don't like it, too bad. Just
so many things.
Yeah.
It's like I really wish younger me knew that.
Well, it's an entirely different pacing. It's almost probably better that you came in at this point. Did you then, because Final Fantasy VII Remake was definitely free on PlayStation Plus. Have you gone into that? Because that's not even that's not even turn-based anymore. That's just action combat now too.
I've not gone into it, but didn't that release kind of weird where it was like part came out and then another part, or is that a different one that I'm thinking of?
Let me help you. So we're on 2 out of 3 so far. They just released the second part with Rebirth, which is the second disc of your 7th grade friend's experience. They still have probably 3 or 4 years because they hadn't really started. They're going to take the same time frame they did to go from Remake to Rebirth to make the third disc. So it's going to grab a Snickers. It's going to be a while before they get to the third one.
I'll just wait until they're all 3 out.
Yeah, just make sure. The key with PlayStation Plus is just always add the games to your library. Always add them to your library. They will be there.
I don't know why there's people. It's like, I didn't get that. It's like, it's a free game. You don't have to play it.
Set the app up on your phone. It yells at you if you didn't download it within the first 45 minutes. And then a week later, it'll say, hey, listen, you didn't download your games yet. And then one more time before the end of the month, even when you download them, it says, hey, make sure you downloaded your games.
Make sure. Yep. That's what I was. It still yells at you, even if you got them.
Are you interested in checking out Final Fantasy 16 after all this? Again, a much different, more...
I started it. I'm not sure how far in I got. Don't remember why I stopped playing. But it was a long enough break that it was like, I don't know if I can get into it again without starting over. I don't know where I'm at. Don't know what I was doing. Type. That's the downfall of some of the open world games. That it's like, I don't remember why I have the stuff in my inventory.
That should have been my hot take for today's quest, not my shot at all the online shooters. It should have been of the modern era of Final Fantasy, and it's just not happening. We're not clicking. We grew apart. We really should be seeing other people, and it's not me, you, it's me. Maybe that's it. So I'm with you. I got nothing there. Now, we have added from our original list, from our original conversation, one game has been added to our honorable mentions, and that's Marbles on Stream. And
yes, exclamation point play.
where did this start? Oh, I got another season 9 tag. I'm just going to drop in at some point now.
It started. You guys caused this with the Marbles C3 CS. This is where it started.
That's right. We did do that.
I feel so much more confident about Marbles now. I want another crack at it, Ray. When you put the calendar together next year, just remember
Great events. Great events. Who won it last time? I don't remember who won.
Oh, I have to pull up the archives.
Everyone thought it was me or Froggy, and I was like, I died like 4 times.
I have it on my computer here, so let's go ahead and take a look. So it was the C3 CS.
You have it all listed? I need to make a list.
No, I don't have them all listed. I only have the Marbles because, again, I didn't really know what I was doing with Marbles at the time. Oh, Smeagol won it, I think.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't? Wait, that was the first round. Final results, Wii Fu. No, not Wii Fu. No, it was Froggy. Froggy had 163 points. I had it reverse listed. That's why it was Froggy. I got second place in that, but Froggy had 163. I had 129. It was a blowout by Froggy.
And now you're like a seasonal player.
I love it. If you find good streams, it's a lot of fun because it's more about the banter amongst chat and the streamer and the Marbles is almost secondary.
Shout them out. Go for it. You're a few places now. I turn around, I see you somewhere else.
Yeah, there's Lady Jane Wellness. There's Chaos Cash. That's Bobby Line. There's Shin. There's JoJo. He's usually on in the morning. Simply Polka's coming back once her kids are back in school.
Yeah, she did one the other night, just randomly one night.
Yeah.
Ray, the best part of these is they have old man music. Much as like the Four Seasons were listened to by parental generations before us. Now it's emo pop punk playlists from the 2000s that are.
That's serious.
I wouldn't be upset if I went into a stream and they were playing Four Seasons.
Oh, I'm not disrespecting that by any stretch. Again, all you're doing is calling out my phone's YouTube music playlist. But
yeah,
these ones no, I just put them on in the background while I'm doing stuff, and if nothing else, it's got a great Spotify playlist for me.
I'm just calling out the fact that you're using YouTube music. That's what I'm here for.
All right, listen, if you want to do this dance now, I just want all of my stuff
connected
through the Google. I don't need.
This is amazing.
I don't need to send a separate entity my information. It's all right there.
That's the reason the servers took so long to shut down on Google Podcasts. He was the one person. He was the one person actually.
jklein, get this back.
Listen to podcasts there.
So jklein, though, you had a good season though. You were holding in the top 1,000 for most of the season there, and we're on the eve of 53 for marbles too. By the time this releases, it will be mid-season.
As long as I think I could have stayed in the top 1,000 if my son didn't play baseball.
Who's got Wi-Fi at this ballpark?
Where's the hotspot?
How do we not have a hotspot over at the snack shack? Let's go.
Like, I would try to drop, and it's like, I'm here to watch a game, and I'd put my phone away and pull it out when he was batting or doing something. But I can't. It's like I would miss multiple days just not playing, which is fine. Like, I'm not upset about it. I'd much rather be watching my son play baseball.
Rightly so. I think a highlight was Lady Jane stream where you were breaking down her nephew's swing for her, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
At one point, I jumped in the middle of that during my my terrible week I had this past week, and I'm like, jklein's breaking down baseball tape here in the marble stream. This is next level.
That might have been my favorite moment of that stream, was when you were like, hey, I'm going to go lurk, and you were so far in front, and then now he's stuck where I got stuck yesterday.
jklein just likes watching me jump into these other marble streams to watch me die. All right, well, we're going to talk about a game you're looking forward to, which, first of all, we're going to do this in two parts.
It's no longer the one that's on there.
Well, we're going to talk briefly about that because that game came out, which was Like a Dragon. Ray's going to correct me because I do not know anything about Japanese, and Ray's he's going to say Gaiden or something like that, not Gaiden.
Gaiden's good.
Gaiden's good.
I think it is.
Gaiden's fine.
The man who erased his name.
Yep. So that was the game you picked back then. So it came out. It was supposed to come out the week we were going to record this podcast, like 6 months ago. But they've been rolling with the Like a Dragon games, and you have been rolling with them. But how was the man who erased his name? You dove in, you platinumed that thing, I believe, right?
Yes, I loved it, but I love the characters, because with that series, characters carry over. Some may not be there anymore, but you run into characters that you've seen before. So it's all, it's that guy. And they'll do, like this one, I think it did flashbacks, and it's like, oh yeah, it was that guy. But if you know the story, that game hits you right in the feels. If you don't know the story, you're probably like, I don't know why you liked it.
But it was a quick play for you too. It wasn't like this was like a multi-week event, or was this was post?
I don't think it took me very long.
Yeah, I felt like it was quick for you to hit the platinum on this.
No, it was by far the easiest platinum of a Yakuza game. Because usually you have to win 10 times in every mahjong parlor. You have to,
set the high score on Outrun in the arcade.
You have to get 3 stars on every level of karaoke. It's like, my hand-eye coordination can't do expert. Like Yakuza 0 essentially has Dance Dance Revolution in it, where you're doing the dance and stuff. That's fun. There's Pocket Circuit, where you do like mini race car races. You have to win every single race. It's like the completions for Yakuza games are like 300-hour expedition, where this one was very, very simple.
Which is why the PlayStation Platinum system's broken. I'm looking at you, I am Mayo, or I am Bread, or whatever. I want to hear it tell me I have to tap a button 2,500 times to get a platinum, and he's over here having to take over the entirety of Japan and be elected prime minister to get platinum in that one. So what are you?
No shame. I have all 3 I am Mayo platinums.
I'm not judging. Hey, listen, get them. Go for it. Have fun. Have at it. But it's not the same. It's not the same as doing it in this kind of hour commitment.
No, I keep meaning to go back to my original Fallout 4 playthrough, because mine's sitting at 99%, because I haven't exchanged 100,000 tickets in Nuka World, and it's driving me nuts. I just don't think I have the patience to go to the arcade and explode moving targets for hours.
I have 6 platinum trophies, and I believe 5 of them are Spider-Man games because it's 2 for Spider-Man, or it's just like 4 of them are Spider-Man games.
Yeah, I think I have the 2 for Spider-Man, Fallout 4, Like a Dragon, the Assassin's Creeds.
That takes some effort to get in every nook and cranny of. So what are you looking forward to now? That's the question. No prep time for us. What are you looking forward to now?
NCAA football. But that
EA
comes
Sports.
out.
I'm sorry. Before the lawyers come at it, it's EA Sports College Football 25. So NCAA can go back in their corner. They didn't get their briefcase of money dropped off to them. That's
rolls right off the tongue too.
Yeah, it really does.
Great title.
When it's Slime Rancher 2 just quietly drop, or did
that was
I
like
just
a year and a half
it?
ago? A year and a half ago now. That was
really.
That was because I remember discussing Slime Rancher 1 very early on with Sammy Sig, a game I had never heard of before, and that was right before Slime Rancher 2 came out.
Yeah.
Well, now you're looking forward to Slime Rancher 2.
I think a beta came out, but on the PlayStation Store it says 6/7, 2024.
Oh, you know what? No, the PC version would have come out. They may not have had the place. Well, hey, you're looking forward to the PS5 version then, right?
Yeah. Anymore, I don't feel like I look into games. Like, when does this come out? Like, there's certain, like, hey, is anything new about Fallout 5? You know, like, certain, am I missing? But I've kind of reverted back to being a kid where the way I found out a game came out is I went to the store and there it was.
I got bad news for you that I don't know what store you're going to anymore that's going to have the game for you to see. It's going to be painful. Definitely don't go looking for an Xbox game because the stores are not going to have them for sure.
Like I've contemplated buying the Like a Dragon man who erased his name, the Japanese version, because that's the only way I believe you can get it physical. And I like having physical copies of stuff. I like the box.
Ray, what were you about to? Ray was about to make some old man comment or an Xbox comment, or maybe both.
I'm sure.
I was going to say
I expect nothing less from a Yankees fan.
The stores it's a great time to be. The stores are gonna have Xbox copies. No one's buying them. They're sitting there.
No, they're pulling them out. Ray, they're not carrying them anymore.
No, Walmart still has. My Walmart has.
Not much longer.
They're there right now.
Yeah, not much longer.
I know much.
All right, well, jklein, I'm going to ignore this because I'd like to point out to Ray that there's someone else there on the other side of the ALNL docket that it feels like there's an inevitable collision coming later in the season, but it's all good.
Yeah, I generally don't talk a lot of crap about baseball just because of the way the series are and the season's so long, but it's, wow, I got you guys both here. My crap baseball team took 4 of 6 from your team.
Oh, say you went. They're up 6 now.
Yeah,
6 games.
We go on. We go on a massive run to finally
got
be.
The Phillies coming back from England. Okay, thanks. That was really bang up job there, Boston.
Dan, it's 2024. Airplane travel is private and relaxed. They could all sleep on it.
Yeah, they're not traveling on Mad Men airplanes.
I don't want to hear about this travel thing anymore.
The Phillies don't travel well. I look forward to a Yankees-Phillies World Series if that's how it plays out, because that way they ride the Acela up and that's and that's it. They don't have to worry about jet lag.
Yeah.
Anything goes further than 2 hours west of Philadelphia, they end up lagging for a couple days. All right, well, jklein, I got one more piece for you here. A question from the Channel 3 history books we picked for you to discuss. And the question I have for you is, what sword from a video game would you choose to have in real life?
I really need to start remembering if I put something down.
Your pick was, you definitively answered Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh, was it what was the sword? Google this real quick.
I Told you the magic of editing, baby. This is all going to be lean and tight by the time all is said and done. It sound like you knew it off the top of your head.
It's the Excalibur sword.
Oh. Nice. Yeah, give me Excalibur. Hang that over the mantle. Let's go.
If I remember, that was a fun little mission, fun little thing to do.
It's funny, Excalibur's in Hades as well. It's not good there. I'm glad you like it somewhere else. It was no good in my game.
Oh, it was great in Assassin's Creed. I mean, it was just, you pulled it out and your first instinct, oh, I need to take a screenshot of this. Because they made a point of kind of, hey, this is a great sword.
And the final question, what's been your favorite feature on Channel 3?
I would say it was just the addition of the chat, making that a thing. I'm not in there a lot, as proven by the mystery drop quest. Was it last week?
Yeah, that was last week.
We don't talk about that quest.
It's like people's numbers just like I still have no idea.
Yeah, that was just people DMing letter after letter after letter. The chats are great. How many chats are you in? Do you just you just checking in on like the general one? Do you pop into the game chats?
The Monopoly Go one. I mainly use it to shoot little one line to people instead of, hey, this is a joke just for you. Doesn't need to be, but mainly the sports and the general I'll flip through.
And with that, we've made it to the end of another What Are Your Three podcast. jklein, thank you for being on. You can find the podcast at c3.gg/podcast, dropping every Wednesday morning at 3:33 a.m. Eastern on all the major platforms, including Spotify, YouTube Music, Just for Dan, and Apple Podcasts. I'm Ray. Dan puts this all together. Our theme song is by Castor Garden, and for our executive producer, Joel Willis. Have a good day, everybody.
Channel 3 is the future.